Good morning, welcome to all. Welcome to Narayana live classes. Let us discuss another exciting assignment from class 9, topic animal tissue. Let us discuss one by one the question wise. Let me go with the first question. The first question, what is connective tissue? As you all learn about tissue, the entire living organisms, all the living organisms are made up of different cells. Now you have seen the organization of cell structures also. Like if you see the organization of organisms, cells combine to form tissues. Tissues combine to form organs. And organs combine to form organ system, where the organ system together forms into an organism. So here, when cells are combining, we call structure called tissues. There are different tissues in our body: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue, and nerves tissue. Now, coming to connective tissue, what exactly the connective tissue is? Let us learn some more about connective tissue. Here, about connective tissue. The group of cells that are similar in structure, and perform particular function, we call it as tissue. Now this tissue basically gives us the structural shape, strength and mechanical strength. There are 4 types as I just now told you: the epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue and nerves tissue. Let us see what exactly the connective tissue is now. Connective tissue, as the name itself implies, connective. It connects the one tissue with another. The connective tissue name implies support and connect different tissues and organs of the body. They are widely distributed in different parts of the body, and they originate from the mesoderm, that is the middle germinal layer of the embryo. With the formation of embryo, the mesoderm, endoderm and ectoderm out of this connective tissue is developed from middle germinal layer of embryo. Let us go with next question. The next question, question number 2. Dash is a rigid matrix rich in calcium and collagen fibers. 4 options has been given. Let us discuss what exactly these 4 options talks about. The first option, blood. As you have studied, blood is a fluid connective tissue where the cells move in the fluid connective tissue. So obviously it is not a rigid structure. Coming to bone, bone is, even you can observe, it is a rigid structure in our body which is basically made of calcium. And third, alveoli, the fundamental functional structure in lungs, and adipose tissue which stores fat in our body, which is not a rigid structure. So out of all these 4 options, the right option goes with option 2, that is bone. The answer is bone. Let us go with third question. Question number 3. Dash is the site for blood cell production, that is production of blood cells, which we call as erythropoiesis. Now, the production of blood cells, 4 options have been given. The one is called blood, 2 bone, 3 nerve cell and adipose tissues. Let us once again review the 4 options here. The blood is actually all the cells which flow in the connective tissue called blood. All the different types of blood cells which flow in the blood, which is the connective tissue. So there is no any production of blood cells here. Coming to the bone, we have studied in your lower classes the bigger bones as a bone marrow, which is responsible for the production of blood cells, where erythropoiesis takes place in the bone marrow. So the right option goes to second, that is bone. Let us go with next question. Question number 4. What is adipose tissue and its functions? The name itself says adipose tissue. Adipose tissue consists of the cells called adipocytes. The cells called adipocytes. Now, These adipocytes are responsible for storing, or basically these adipocytes stores energy in the form of fats. Stores in the form of fats. Let us see clearly. Here, adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is a specialized connective tissue consisting of lipid-rich cells called adipocytes. Just now we have seen adipocytes. The main function of adipocytes is to store energy in the form of lipids or fats. Based on its location, fat tissue is divided into parietal and visceral. Parietal, under the skin, whatever the adipocyte present under the skin, we call it as parietal, and the surrounding of organs like internal organs also is covered with the adipose tissues. That covering of internal organs, wherever the adipose tissue cover the internal organs, we call it as visceral. So the adipose tissue are of two types, parietal as well as visceral. Let us go with the next question. Here, question number 5. What is bone and its functions? When we study about different tissues and organs in our body, we have studied about bone. Bone is a structure which gives size and shape to an organism. And basically it consists of an element called calcium. Let us see in detail about bone. Here, a bone is a rigid organ that constitutes part of vertebral skeleton in animals. You have seen the organisms are of two types called vertebrates and invertebrates. So vertebrate organism which has got backbone, almost all the vertebrates which has got backbone constitute this bone structure. Now, the basic functions, what bone is called as multiple function. The bone performs multiple functions. Let us see the functions of bone. Bones have many functions. They support the body structurally, protect our vital organs and allow us to move. You can see the bone structure, like if you consider the rib cage, it protects the lungs or heart which is present in the chest cavity. So, bone which gives shape and size to our body, which protects our internal organs and which help for walking or movement also. And just before the question we have studied, the bigger bones has got a structure, or inside the bone marrow. The bone marrow is present inside the bigger bones, which is responsible for the production of cells called blood cells, where erythropoiesis takes place in this bone marrow. So bone also helps in the production of cells, in the production of new cells called blood cells. Let us go with the next question. Yeah. Question number 6. Dash is the compound epithelium which functions as a barrier against chemical and mechanical stress. See, there are 4 options. Let us review these 4 options. The first option, bone, as just now we have seen, the functions of the bone is a rigid structure which help to protect the internal organs and which help for movement. So, might be the bone is not an option. Coming to second, skin. We have studied, when we study about epithelial layer which is present in the skin or in our body, basically these epithelial layers is of 2 types, that is simple as well as compound. The name itself says simple, a single layer cells, whereas compound, number of layers formed together and tightly packed. And because of this tightly packed, it got resistance of chemical and mechanical stress. Let me show you how this compound epithelium which is present in the skin. The skin compound epithelium made up of more than 1 layers, that is multi-layered, more layers of cells, and thus has a limited role in secretion and absorption, as the cells are very packed. So the role of secretion and absorption is very limited. Their main function is to provide protection against chemical and mechanical stress. Okay, so as the skin is protecting against chemical and mechanical stress. So the answer to the question is option 2, that is skin. Okay. Yeah, so with this we completed our exciting assignment. Let us meet once again for the next new assignment. Thank you all.